I'm talking millions. Like there's millions of pounds out there waiting to be spent.
This is gems straight away. This is serious gems.
You're working for people and you know that they've put blood, sweat and tears in to get that money to pay for that project. It makes it important for me to get that right. Do you know what I mean? I take this lightly. For music artists out there, there's funds available the same as there is for the CIC companies.
Right then.
It sounds like unbelievable that there's people just sat there with money waiting to give it to people.
So you're quite interested in this music background then, isn't it?
Yeah, I love music. So that's been my main thing.
Where did you find the majority of your work?
I've got retainer clients.
What's a retainer client?
So yeah, to anyone starting out in the freelance world, it feels make or break. Do you know what I mean? Every day feels like you've got to be better than you were yesterday.
Yes, welcome back to another show, another episode, A-Brand Show with A-Brand Specialist today in the building.
That's it. Saunders Multimedia. First name's Alex. Come on, man.
Yes, man, we're doing this. So, yeah, thanks for everybody tuning in. We appreciate the watching, the listening. Bro, did you know, I've had some statistics back on the podcast,
Okay.
on the Spotify as well, in particular. Got listeners actually in 13 different countries, fam.
Okay.
30 and 40, that's only the top ones.
You're reaching.
Bro, I didn't even expect it. So, whoever's listening to this, wherever you are, like, I know that I'm going to have to be talking a little bit different now. I'm talking to those people now.
Bro, don't get me on that way, but when I'm on holiday and I go abroad, I just end up like putting some weird accent on, trying to get people to understand me, but I end up talking like more stupid than if I just spoke English normal.
I do that when I jump in the cab. Brother,
I bet they're like, yo, what's this guy doing, man?
Yeah, but it works though.
Well, I don't know about that.
I think it works. Maybe it doesn't. But yeah, but on that basis, we're talking to everybody, whether in the UK, the USA, New Zealand, Sweden, all these places, the Netherlands, that the statistics are showing us where you are listening from. We're talking to everyone and we appreciate you tuning in. Give us a like, drop a comment, whichever platform you're on. Subscribe, we appreciate it, man. And that's where we'll leave that one there. But yeah, man, more so, my bro, I appreciate you jumping on.
100%, man. I've been waiting for the right time to come through. It's been a minute. Like, we've been talking for a hot sec now about coming and doing this. So it's good to be here, man. It's good to sit down and finally, like you say, just try and drop a couple gems out there for the people and stuff like that.
Yes, man, for real. So I'll let you do the introductions. Like, who are you? What do you do? All of that.
All right, cool. So
yeah, man.
I'm Saunders Multimedia. Very awkward on a camera. I'm better behind it.
Okay, yes. Yeah.
But yeah, no, basically...
it's a work in progress though as well, because you've done more, you spent more time behind the camera.
That's it, 100%. And I feel like that's probably like a result of me being very outgoing and creative in my early years. Like I always did drama and stuff like that when I was at school. Just a lot of energy. But then I just hit a point and I was like, do you know what? I took more of an interest in like the behind the scenes of it, and I started to get more into TV and stuff like that, man. And yeah, just gradually just found myself behind the camera, started making my way, making videos, stuff like that. But it's always been in me to be like creative, always picking up like cameras when I was younger and stuff.
So okay, Saunders Multimedia, that's your business?
Yeah.
So you do media for other businesses or individuals?
Yeah, so like basically I'm a freelance videographer, also starting to try and tap into the niche of becoming more of like a marketing strategist or like kind of thinking of strategies to try and help promote people, whether that be in the music industry. I mostly work in the music industry, so a lot of stuff will be around like events, working with artists. I do a lot of like kind of cultural stuff as well within the city, and also run a CIC company, which is like kind of helping educate the next generation of creatives.
Can you say quickly what is a CIC? Because I was discussing this with a friend of mine this week, and a lot of people might not know them type of terms there.
It's a community interest company. So basically it's a business that is obviously in the benefit of the community. So everything that we put through that is either funded through bids that we put in for. So that would be from like National Lottery, Arts Council. There's all sorts of bids that you can apply for, heritage funds and stuff like that. We also do like commercial work. And we work with brands such as Opal 22, which is like focused on black arts and heritage and education, and Blaby Council and stuff like that. So we're working within the community, putting on courses for the community.
So the CIC group is an actual company that's been set up, registered through the government or through company's house?
It's slightly different to just registering yourself as a regular company. You have to do a little bit more paperwork.
It's technical.
And basically you just got to prove that you're in the benefit of the community.
And what's the benefit of doing a CIC compared
It's
to
fulfilling. That's the number one thing for me. It's fulfilling. So quite often as a freelance creative, you hit patches where the work doesn't roll in regularly. Hosting something like an educational course that can run for 11 to 12 weeks or something, that helps provide some sort of sustainable income, not only for me, but you're giving back.
Can you get funding for that course?
Yeah, so that's the whole point of it. Like there's
sick.
pockets of money out there
Yeah,
that
available.
people have, like, and I'm talking millions. Like
Yeah.
there's millions of pounds out there waiting to be spent.
With CICs.
Yeah, but people just need to be able to know how to tap into
How to
it,
tap into it, bro.
know how to write bids
Yeah.
to get the money, and
Sick.
basically, then you just got to basically provide like a mini business plan around what you're doing.
I'm about to explode. This is gems straight away. This is serious gems and this is why we do this podcast, because these are conversations that I've had in the car with the lads that are trying to figure out what to do. Like everyone's at this age. How old are you?
I'm 29 now.
I'm 30 years old now.
Yeah.
People trying to figure out what to do, like where's the bread, where's the dough? But the main cause of one thing that you've mentioned is the CIC is fulfilling. You've got to have a purpose, right? You have to have something that's going to positively impact the community.
100%.
And when you do that, there's funds available.
Yeah.
So people need to come up with something, one, that's going to positively impact the community, and two, you can access them funds, like, and you can get paid for actually doing something useful. People are lost, bro.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I was like that. I'm still learning. I want to get into writing my own bids because we work as a team.
Who's we?
So that's Smart Way Media Solutions. That's the CIC company that I'm a part of.
Sick.
So I'm one of 4 directors, and basically we're all on a level playing field. I focus on like videography. If I was to put myself like with a title, I'd say it's probably like creative director.
Sounds good.
You've got Conrad, who's like the founding member of Smartway, and he's also like videography and also social media. He's got a massive background in building brands with social media.
Sick.
Conrad Smart, check him out. And then you've got Liam and Dean, which are more kind of into the motion graphics,
Sick.
3D modeling. Dean does game designs. Liam does all sorts of stuff like with video and modeling and stuff like that as well. So
Proper.
Together we've tried to build a business that we can provide professional, like kind of all-rounded service. And we did have another member, Cameron, which has moved on now. But yeah, he was like from a web background as well. So if there's any web developers out there, get in touch, man.
Yeah. Sick, bro. CICs, look into it. If you're from the UK, I'm sure there's something that's applicable to you in your country, if you're fortunate as well. Like I said, we've got to be speaking to that international audience, right?
That's it. Yeah, there's definitely like there's stuff like this all over the place. So it doesn't matter if you're here in Germany, whatever. Just get in touch with people, and the best way to find out about it is to have conversations, get down to your local like creative hubs. Here in Leicester, the Phoenix is like one of the main spots where people will go network with one another, and it's a great place to just go and hang out if you want to get to know other people that are like-minded. You know what I mean? Like
a creative hub, food banging.
Yeah.
So that's a creative hub as well.
Yeah, it's a cinema, and they've got studios, they've got offices. People obviously hire them out, and people hang around. Like I say, it's a nice space. The food's banging. They've got a bar downstairs, a rooftop.
Yeah, find nice these place. Things. If you're fortunate to be somewhere where this stuff's available, to find it, man. Just be around what you want to see. You get what I'm saying?
That's it.
That's sick, bro. Sick. Amazing. Because I was literally having that conversation this week, and I'm still learning about it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, big. I'm glad that you mentioned that. Yo, people, quickly just want to mention something that I know is going to be of extreme value to you. You know, when you go into the gym, you're not motivated. You're not seeing the results that you want to see, or even you can't take yourself to the gym. Gyms are boring. Gyms are intimidating, or it's just not really for you, the workouts that you see going on. Yeah, I can relate. I've been there. Trust me. Gravity Fitness is the solution. And I'm saying that hand on heart, I would recommend it to anybody. There's a whole plethora of products you can choose from on the Gravity Fitness website. They are made to survive an apocalypse. So imagine what they're going to do to your body and your physique. Gravity Fitness is for all levels of individuals and athletes. It's for people that are trying to get into calisthenics. They've even got these gymnastic rings, so they're for gymnasts as well. You can do body weight exercises, and then you can add a little weight to it with the weighted vest, which is adjustable as well. Long story short, bad boy product. That's why I'm bringing it to you. I'm a believer in it, and I'm so grateful that they've partnered with this podcast to bring you 10% off all purchases. Now that is a game changer. I wish I had 10% off when I bought my first vest. I wish we had 10% off. So make sure you go check them out. Use the code ABS10 at checkout for 10% off. Now without further ado, let's get back into the content. You were picking up cameras from early.
Yeah.
So let's go back to that time, yeah. When was the first time that you remember?
First time in my head that I remember would have been like family parties.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there would have been a camera floating about somewhere, whether it be like a little digital camera or a VHS.
Yeah.
And I just used to pick that up, and I just took to it. I just enjoyed it. Before apps like Face Warp came about, do you remember like the original Face Warp on your old school brick phones and that? But yeah, before all of that come about, I'd be taking pictures through a wine glass to like manipulate someone's face.
Oh shit.
And I found it interesting how like you could play with the picture, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or like get creative with it. And I guess that was just kind of where people started to tell me, do you know what, like you probably got a little bit of something there. You should look into following that up.
Yeah, you followed it up, like, what was it, like college or school or?
Yeah, so I was a bit lost like through my teen years, but I kind of pursued creative media.
Well, who's in their teenage years like, yeah, I know my life purpose.
You know what? There's some kids out there that are very sure of themselves, but I don't think they're the type of people that I found myself around.
Yeah. Well, you wasn't that guy.
Yeah, no, I was out there, and I was just trying different things and finding myself, I guess. Do you know what I mean? But I always followed like media and stuff because I did like drama from my early years at school, and and media just sat with me, something that I enjoyed. I had some great teachers along the way, which also made it enjoyable. Like I can't remember their names necessarily now, but one of my teachers at high school, he had a big influence on me because he was just a cool guy. Do you know what I mean? One of my
media
at college, yeah, it was my media studies teacher. So like it was interesting to meet these people, and throughout the process of doing like these courses or whatever, going to school and this, that and the other as well, I found people did keep telling me like, do you know what I mean? Like you should follow this up, you should pursue this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of just did.
So what was the first time that you managed to, all right, cool, maybe not make some dough from it, but what was the first project that you was like involved in and or like making something happen for somebody else?
Well,
whereas like you was the guy or?
The first paid project is different to my first like actual projects I was doing, because at the time there weren't projects. I was helping mates. I had a friend that like was rapping. Do you know what I mean? These times I was at uni, and I'd just come back with the big proper TV camera to film a freestyle with one of my mates.
Wait, what did you take it from? What was you studying at uni?
I studied radio and television production.
Okay,
at Salford.
So you took the camera from?
Yeah. Literally, we've hired the camera out from there, and then we've bought it back, and I was like filming a freestyle, and coincidentally,
I bet that came out sick though, because you had
it never come out.
Never come out.
Never come out, bro. The freestyle was hard. Like my mate was hard. Like, do you know what I mean? But like, just never come out, bro. I was at uni. I was studying. I had so much going on. Do you know what I mean? So, like I say, the first projects I was doing, bro, a lot of them were flops.
What? Because you didn't get the work done, or what's it?
Oh, it's just because I wasn't really sure on what I was doing, bro. To be honest with you, like people just knew that I knew cameras, and they'd be like, "Yo, come and film me," and I'd be like, "All right, do you know what I mean? I will."
Yeah.
I've still got all the files. I could still edit it today. Do you know what I mean? I still held on to everything that I do.
That's good.
I think it's funny to look back at stuff from when you're starting and that, because you just see the progress. Do you know what I mean?
For real. So all right, cool. So that kind of flopped then. But what about the first paid one then? Flopped again. You still get paid for it?
I did photos for a restaurant that opened in Leicestershire, and it was for like an Indian curry house. Yeah. And I didn't know what I was doing, bro. I was just snapping away. I probably did it. I think I did it actually for something like 30 quid. which barely paid for my petrol to get there and back.
Mad.
And yeah, like the client, they were like, oh, like we're not happy with this, we're not happy with that. And they just kept coming back saying like alterations and stuff. But this was all a part of the journey of me learning, do you know what I mean? Like when I was doing this, like it was in my very, very early days of like actually trying to create something. Like when I was talking about like doing stuff with my family functions and stuff like that, I wasn't trying. I was just having fun. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't have any intention or whatever to be artsy or whatever. I was just a curious kid. And
but at the restaurant, what you're saying, you're trying to build a business now, or you're trying to be.
Well, when I was doing the restaurant, it was just because a friend basically had someone reach out to them. I think they were doing something to do with marketing at the time, and they came to me and said, "Do you mind doing some photos?" And I was like, "Yeah, cool, I'll come and do it." And I just built from there. But it just like things probably took about 3 years for me to actually take it serious from when I first did that. Do you know what I mean? Because I was still doing other things and I didn't necessarily see freelancing as being something that I was going to do. It was just practice. It was just whatever.
Did you think you was going to get a job in TV or something like that?
Yeah, I thought I was going to be working on TV or radio. Like I say, I studied radio and television production. I did a work placement at Unity Radio in Manchester. And that was probably one of the turning points when I started to take things serious, because I picked up a camera there and I was fortunate enough to meet quite a few like cool people. I got to like sit in on interviews with people like Big Nasty and stuff like that, and I was helping produce the actual show for the radio. Okay. So I got to pick up cameras and stuff, and I got to go to events, and I saw the cooler side of it. Like I went and photographed warehouse projects and stuff like that. Like
what,
that
the rave?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, back then, that was sick to me because I was all about that. Like that was all I was bothered about, to be honest.
Was you getting in the mix?
Yeah, like I just wanted. Like, I was.
Was you twisted?
No. I kept it sober. I was just there. I remember just being backstage, and there's people like AJ Tracy walking by me with Big Zoo and people like that. That like I was listening to at the time, bro, and I was like starstruck. Do you know what I mean? DJ EZ and stuff like that. I didn't know what to say, but I was just there. Like I didn't really have like the minerals to go up and ask them for their photos and stuff at the time. I was just photographing the crowd and that, but I saw enough to know that that's what I kind of wanted to start doing. Do you know what I mean? And I started pursuing more of that kind of thing. Hooked up with people back here in Leicester, and ended up doing the same thing. I was knocking on every door.
Swears.
When I come back after
literally.
Yeah, pretty much literally. Yeah, like when I come back from uni,
Martin.
I was like, right, like I want to do something. I was applying for jobs, not getting anything.
When you say you come back from uni, like what? Your first year, second year, third year, graduated, like what?
Yeah, like uni was a struggle for me as well.
Swears.
Like I struggled to get through it.
I didn't make it through.
Grit, determination to not let other people get me down.
Yeah.
Like I felt like, and this is another subject that I think would be nice to touch upon at some point. It's like I always felt like I didn't belong within that industry. Do you know what I mean?
TV or uni?
TV, radio, whatever. Like I felt like, and I myself was struggling with like mental health issues and stuff like that. I had my own problems to deal with. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I was out partying. I was doing a lot of stuff like that, and not really like didn't have my own interest. Like I didn't have my best interest. You know what I mean? At heart, kind of thing.
Yeah. Which is kind of the case. Like when people are partying, yeah. Have you not got a main mission that you should be attending to? Do you know what I'm saying? Rather than that, so maybe.
Well, it weren't ever seen as the done thing to go in to do like media and this and that. Like when I was growing up, like even my family and my friends, everyone would be like, "What are you doing?" kind of thing. Like, it's wasting your time, and I would be like, "But it's the only thing I enjoyed. Like I didn't enjoy anything else, and I had to find a way to make it work." Like I say, I honestly wasn't the best. Some of these kids coming up, man, they're probably like 16 years old. They're super talented. But you know what it is? It's the same in sports. Like you get some of these kids, man, they're like 16, they're super talented. People think they're going to go far. And they get a bit cocky in it, and they fall back and they start paying less attention, or they find something else they're interested in and they go down that route. And I was just always consistent. I was persistent. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the only thing that's got me to where I feel like I am.
So where you are now, yeah, are you making like a full-time income from everything that's going on?
I make enough to get by.
Yeah.
Things could always be better. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
But like I say, this is a work in progress for me.
100%.
And over the last 2 years, probably 3 years, I'd say I've really been focusing on trying to make that a thing, because even I've been doing this now for probably 6+ years. Do you know what I mean? Like 6.5 years or something like that.
Yeah.
For the first 3, I was absolutely dossing. This was just me having fun with the camera still, just filming my mates, filming events. I got to meet cool people. I was just enjoying doing it. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't even charging back then. I was just doing a lot of it for free. And if I was charging, it'd be like 50 quid for something that nowadays people would be charging like $1,000 for. Do you know what I mean?
Crazy.
But obviously the quality wasn't necessarily there. So I always saw it as it was a learning process for me. And I thought, like, I'm learning on the job, which is the way that I learn the best. Do you know what I mean? I make mistakes and learn from them mistakes. Like, if you tell me, I don't listen. Do you know what I mean? I'm that kind of person.
I feel you, bro. I can relate.
Yeah.
Serious.
Yeah, like I try, but I look back sometimes and I remember conversations people were having me, and I was like, why didn't I listen to them? You know what I mean? Like, I could have cut so many corners, but it's the process, isn't it? So it's what makes you who you are.
Trust me, yeah. So in that process, then you said you take things way more seriously now, yeah?
Yeah.
So there must have been like a time where you was like, right, you figured out I can charge this, I can charge that, or...
Yeah. So, like, things are constantly evolving, especially with, like, how things are in today's current climate. Technology evolves so quick.
Right.
Social media evolves so quick. I'd say 5 years ago, music videos were the thing.
Yeah.
So I was banging out £200 videos, and probably even less than that, like £100 to £200 videos. But I was banging out a lot of them, and basically, like, I was active. Like, I was messaging people on Facebook. I'd find them on Instagram. I'd message them. I'd be driving to Notts, to Manchester. It didn't matter. I'd be there. Like, do you know what I mean? And like, obviously now I'm at the point where you got to understand there's a value behind your work as well. Like, don't just charge for your time. Don't just charge for this, that, and the other. So it's kind of developed. Do you know what I mean? So
where do you find the majority of your work then nowadays?
Nowadays, a lot of my work still comes from word of mouth, but I've got retainer clients, and that's a big thing. Like, what's
a retainer client like?
So yeah, to anyone starting out in the freelance world, it's good to have one-off jobs and do job for job or whatever, but you've got to look at who's going to actually work with you as you develop. Like, find someone that will put their trust in you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean as well? And you've got to be able to learn how to sell yourself to do that, because it is more than just creating content. It's like learning. It's a videography. Yeah, you've got to be creative. You've got to be hands on the camera. Often you're directing. You're doing all the production, like organising it and getting all the call sheets put out, everything like that. You do the editing. You do your own finance. You do your own marketing. You do other people's marketing. And half time you ain't got a clue how to do it. You know what I mean? So you got to figure it out as you go along.
That's like the freelance. You talk about being a freelancer now, isn't it? Freelance videographer.
Yeah.
Getting off from the ground.
Yeah.
It's going to be all of these things.
Yeah. So finding a retainer client kind of can help you learn, like, in a safe space. But obviously, you've got to be able to make sure you can provide what they're asking for at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
And a retainer client, that's where you are getting. What is it? This is my understanding. Repeat custom. Because I just signed up like one of my first ones. Nah, Two, my first one straight.
Yeah.
Same week, boom. And I learned this from a sales course as well.
Yeah.
Where I was learning how to do sales and like start like an agency or whatever, which is essentially like same thing. You're still a freelancer, but you're kind of turn it into a business, right?
Yeah, of course.
So you need like the best way is to make sure that you get that repeat custom. That's how you wanna.
That's it.
Sell them on that like 3 months. I mean, that's what I've done in it. I don't know if that's similar to you.
Well, for me, like I tend to offer like kind of. I've got contracts with companies where basically I'm creating their content behind the scenes. Do you know what I mean? And people don't necessarily have to know it's me. I'm just creating the content. Do you know what I mean? Okay. And but I also have other kind of contracts that are catered more towards Saunders MultiMeda and stuff, like which is like my own personal brand, which I focus mostly on music and offer stuff like bulk promotions for music artists, and that's where I'm trying to like start to touch on like the more of like the like marketing strategies and stuff like that, because I've been doing this for long enough now to learn on the job and know what works and what kind of doesn't, and I'm trying to push people to necessarily do it, but it's hard to try and get people to see the value in what you're trying to say. Do you know what I mean? Especially when it means they're parting with their own money. But then that leads on to other things like strategies, because not necessarily it's always the best thing to use your own money. Like for music artists out there, there's funds available the same as there is for the CIC companies.
Right then.
Do you know what I mean? Where you can get your music funded through other businesses that want to see young creatives win. They are out there. It sounds like unbelievable that there's people just sat there with money waiting to give it to people.
So you're quite interested in this music background then, isn't it?
Yeah, I love music. So that's been my main thing.
And you want to see the musicians that partner with you win?
Yeah, 100%. I want to build with people. I want to help develop people. It's like it's something that's always interested me. It's just Is
that the thing that you would say that you're probably the most passionate about out of what you're doing right now, or is it different with this?
Music, and also I'd say music is my passion, but I'm also like super into like the community stuff, working within the community, doing stuff like that. Like I've been very fortunate to find myself like working within different pockets of the communities here in Leicester, being such a diverse city. I just done the Mela Festival, 2 days of celebrations of everything South Asian and more. Do you know what I mean? And
what was you like filming and? Yeah,
it's wicked, man. Like it's really interesting. I get to meet people from different backgrounds. I get to network with different people, and like I just love it, man. It's just that's what Leicester's about for me, and like. I've always grew up just loving that, like, the diversity. How
did you get that job then? That one?
Well, I've been building and working alongside one of the main sponsors of the festival and the person that organised it. So I've been working with them for quite a while now, for a number of years.
Yeah. So what, they just turned around to you and said?
Yeah, they've got me on board for the 2nd year running now. I think the Mela Festival actually stopped running for a while, and then he took it over. So that might have been 2 years ago, and it started up. But yeah, it's wicked, man. Like, it was a successful weekend. It was good fun. Do you know what I mean? A lot of work.
So word of mouth, yeah. And current relationships as well, yeah. Do you know about these freelance platforms? Like, do you know about like? Do you ever do like Fiverr or Bark.com? That's where I got.
I've heard of them. I've looked to use them myself, and I think as like I expand, it's definitely something that I would be looking to do. Do you know what it is though? With the creative process, you have to learn to let go as well, because. If I'm shooting something, I like to be on the edit. If I'm producing something, I like to be on the shoot. Do you know what I mean? Like, It's one of them, but I definitely would like to be able to take more of a back seat at some point and try and not necessarily create an agency, but create some sort of a business where I can fall back and have other people that work under me, subcontracted 100%. And whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're working with other creators to to get that aim. I hear that, man. I think I'm working towards the same thing as well, bro. Yeah,
it's important, man, because you can't do everything yourself. Like,
can't do everything yourself, man. So, what is that? One of the challenges then that you've faced, or like
trying to do everything?
Yeah, bro. Because what did I put? I don't enjoy video editing, bro.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it, bro.
It's long. It's strenuous. It takes a lot of time.
I don't enjoy it, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
You know what? Sometimes I really do, but it depends on the project.
I can get into the flow state. I get into the flow state while I'm doing it. Yeah, don't get it twisted. I do get into it. I know that it's for a purpose, but it's like I posted it on I made a short. ASAP Rocky was talking about it. He said any art form is 10% creativity. 90% editing.
Yeah.
So in terms of time, like I want to be out in the world, I want to be living, I want to be experiencing shit. But I know that to get this result now, I'm not paying no editors. I'm not doing. I got to sit down and do this 90% editing.
Yeah.
That's a challenge for me, bro. Like,
well, thankfully there's tools out there like AI and stuff now where they can speed up the process for a lot of people. Because I think.
You're helping me now. That's what I'm saying.
Like with this is an interesting subject because like on the like how do I say this? When you see a rise in new technology, you will always see a rise in the old as well. Do you know what I mean? So for instance, the best example I can think of is when digital music platforms rose, sales of vinyls also rose because they became more valued. Do you know what I mean? And you've got people now using AI to edit their software. You've got content creators left, right, and center using CapCut to create quick content, which is generating millions of views, doing its job.
This is like what you're saying. The 16-year-olds are making sick content. I don't want to say better.
No, it's good. It's good content, and it gets the job done. But like I say, with the rise of this, you also get the rise of this. And over here, you've got the people that have been doing it, and we've been through like the stages of figuring things out. And I'd say that it puts a bit more value over here now in terms of our creativity and our knowledge. Do you know what I mean? And that holds power as much as people can just go and create a quick video and post it within like 30 minutes or whatever, or even less than that.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to value what's over here as well. There's
expertise.
There's a lot that goes into filming, and people think it is just picking up a camera and just going. Sometimes it is. If you want to create a TikTok, that's all you need. If you want to promote your song, sometimes that's all you need.
And the iPhones are sick nowadays. The camera settings, they don't even have to change anything around.
Like you film on the iPhone 15 in the same format that you would edit a regular video on. Do you know what I mean? So you can literally use that as one of your main tools if you're just creating social media content. But yeah, like I say, there's a rise of both. Like people said music videos had died out. I don't think music videos have died out. I think the age of just getting a bunch of man to stand on the block and shoot a video with cars and dogs has died out because it's worn out. I think what is relevant now is the artistic side, the thought through filmmaking process side of it. You see a lot of these artists that have gone far and not necessarily like the most standout musicians or artists in the world, but when they've got the full package, like the high-end cinematic videos, like really interesting locations, the color grading is on point. When all of these little aspects come together, then it creates something special.
So what's your ideal client then right now? If we're speaking to them, they're listening to this, they don't know if we
client
to shout them out.
Is somebody young, hungry, and willing to learn and work. Like there's talent like that coming up in Leicester right now.
Don't they need to have dough, or you're going to be the guy? Because I know you've mentioned this, that may even help them access these funds.
There's ways that I'm still trying to figure this out, because there's ways that I want to help people
by dough. I mean
access to funds.
Sorry, go on, say it, my G.
No, it's all right. I want to help people get access to funds, but you do need money. Do you know what I mean? You can't be doing everything for free. Like, not charity. You do need to get paid. And for years, I put other people before myself, and I I've ended up having to like kind of pick up the pieces later. But yeah, like when I say you need dough, like there is ways to go around it. I think if you were to check out like people like Pac-Man TV and how they became successful, like it's really interesting because they worked with artists and developed a new way of doing it. Like they were basically, I think, helping develop the artist. Seems kind of similar to what I'm saying I want to try and do. And they were just taking a percentage of what the artist makes. So they're in it together. There is ways to do it like that.
Write it into a contract.
You don't have to have like cash up front. And there's also ways to lower the cost to make it more sustainable. Do you know what I mean? Some people are afraid of working if they want to be a musician and this, that, and the other. Like, but everyone's got to start somewhere, man. Do you know what I mean? You're not just going to be a star and get millions of pounds just sent to you from the gods, like just to go and create music. Do you know what I mean? You got to do something to fund it.
True.
And there, like I say, there's funds out there, but sometimes it is a case there's a lot of people funding themselves.
Let's touch on that then, innit? Because that's quite important, to be fair, because what people may do to raise funds in order to pursue their dreams may be from a place of ambition, but it might not be necessarily the best thing that's going to serve their higher purpose. If I'm being blunt, then they might end up getting locked up, or they might end up not having the time to actually work on their craft, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because they might just be... Yeah, I was chatting to a girl, man. She's a sick singer. And then she's a receptionist at the same time. And I was like, yo, you're a sick singer. Like, when you're going to do that, you should do that full time, like YouTube. She's like, I've been thinking about it. Maybe this is my sign from God. But I ain't got the answers.
It's hard though, man.
I'm saying, so where are they gonna get the funds from? Yeah.
I think,
what was you saying? It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard for artists out there, and I fully see it. Like as a content creator, sometimes like you're working for people, and you know that they've put blood, sweat, and tears in to get that money to pay for that project. So it makes it important for me to get that right. Do you know what I mean? I don't take this lightly. Like when I'm doing projects for people, like sometimes, don't get it twisted, there's days where things don't sit with your core, like kind of not values, but like, do you know what I mean? Like sometimes you're doing jobs where you're not feeling it as much as you feel other jobs, but it's still people's hard-earned money. It's still, do you know what I mean? Like you got to appreciate what they've gone through to even be able to be in a position to hire me. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I know there's artists out there that are doing the most, man, to try and fund themselves. And that's why I want to help create a platform to help people do it. Not necessarily in the right way, because there is no right or wrong way. Yeah. You know what I mean? But to do it maybe in a way where they can have more long-term longevity, because people get worn out and tired constantly putting money in to not get the most return. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But when you're starting out, that's your time to go for funds, to do this, to do that, because you're developing your practice. Do you know what I mean? And when you get to the point where you feel like, yeah, you've learned enough throughout that process, then you start to take things a bit further, and then you can look to maybe be like self-sufficient or whatever.
This might be your calling, bro. Like, to help these
like
people.
I am just a product of my environment, you know what I mean? And I've had some lucky enough to have like wicked people that I've met on my journey that have inspired me to think this way, do you know what I mean? Like so 100% got to shout out people like Yasin from HQ, mentored me throughout my early years. People like Conrad, who's worked with me on the camera side of things and stuff like that. And do you know what I mean? It really does help, like, to have people that can help you, but you also, like, I also help them, do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm sure it's a give situation, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice, like, to see, I'm sure, like, took me a bit of time maybe to understand it and realize it, but yeah, there's a value in helping other people succeed that I think goes missed a lot. Do you know what I mean? Like, too many people keep secrets like close to them because they think if they give it out, then people are going to take their spot or are going to do this, going to do that. But for me and where I'm at right now in my journey, I want to just I want to put people on. I want to see the shift, especially within the creative sectors, come more towards the Midlands, not necessarily just on the polars, London and Manchester or whatever. Birmingham doing their thing, but we're still struggling, man. West Midlands gets a lot more funding than the East Midlands when it comes to stuff. East Midlands, we need like more funding. We need more of a creative, like unified kind of scene. Do you know what I mean? Throughout all aspects, filmmaking, music, fashion, whatever, we all work together.
So back to that sort of ideal client then, that's that hungry person that's willing to put the work in, and that you might be able to join with them and access these funds as well.
Yeah,
Perhaps,
so like
or...
it wouldn't necessarily be anything that would benefit me in any other way. Then they'd be getting the right kind of funds to pay for my services.
To pay for your services. Yeah, man.
And that's all it is. Like
I might put some people your way from this podcast. That's what I'm saying. Like, it might be able to put some... It should definitely put some people your way, bro.
Yeah, well, I've been trying. I need to do a bit more research into it. It's easy to get caught up in the rat race, do you know what I mean? Chasing the cheddar and just trying to fucking get by.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to definitely put more time into actually building that, because that is my long-term thing that I want to do. Create my own hub as well, do you know what I mean? Like a studio where people can stop by, we can run our courses from and stuff like that. That's important for me. I think that's the long-term goal.
Sounds sick, bro. That sounds fucking sick, to be fair, man. And I rate it and I respect it because it's knowledge that a lot of people may not know already that will benefit them. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts.
So, yeah, man, it's sick, bro. So what's like one of the most difficult things, say, that has happened over the last 6 years that you thought, like, has there been at any point where you thought, I ain't doing this no more at all, or did you always not?
All the time.
Swear, yeah.
All the time. Like when something goes wrong, it feels like the end of the world.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And mistakes happen, man. Like, we're all human. Like, and there's times where clients will have unrealistic expectations and stuff, and you're working yourself like down to the point where you're probably earning less than £3 an hour. Do you know what I mean, on projects? And
but has that got something to do with? For me, if that was ever to happen to me, it's because I know that my skill level is not at the place where it is going to be in the future.
I think for me...
So I might have to take a bit longer to do it. I know your way.
I also think that it's about knowing the right client as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, because there are clients out there where you've got to put clear parameters in place, otherwise you will get took for a mug, basically. Do you know what I mean? And it feels like super. It feels like you're walking a tightrope sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, you got to find the right balance to get by, because you don't want to piss people off, but you got to also know that your time's worth something, and that's where it comes down to, like, putting clear. You got to make everything clear. Like, communication is key. Do you know what I mean? Between the client and the contractor. Like, if I'm doing a job, it's down to me to make sure that I put the parameters in place. Like,
how would
the amount of revisions that you do on a project, and stuff like that. Like that, you got to set these expectations before you enter that kind of contract, whether it be a verbal contract or written.
Yeah. Okay.
You got to have them conversations, because too many times, like...
Would you advise writing it down?
Yeah, like, I used to be excited, bro. I still am. I'm excited when I get projects, bro, and I jump into them,
Yeah.
And then sometimes it just falls to where it's like, this ain't even worth my time anymore. But it's a part of the game, innit? Like, you just gotta pull up your socks and just get through it, and then just know next time, when you work with that person, you don't have to be mad at them. You don't have to fall out with them or whatever.
You just got
put parameters in place, innit?
So what's the biggest fuck up then that's happened? If you can share that. I can't even think.
The biggest fuck up I've happened. I'm sure every photographer or videographer has been through it, man. Like if you lose files,
Oh, that's definitely happened to me.
it's a horrible feeling, bro. Like like it turns your stomach. I literally have nightmares about this kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Wake up, check your thing.
Bro,
Oh no, we're good.
Cold sweats. Like sometimes, if I've done a big project or I've got a big project coming up, like my anxiety is through the roof.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it does that. But I think with enough experience and stuff, you learn like how to try and avoid things as much as possible. Do you know what I mean? Losing equipment as well. I've lost equipment like just through being careless, rushing and stuff like that. And I've lost like microphones that are worth like 200, 300 pounds. Do you know what I mean? Twice over.
Yeah.
So now air tagging stuff is essential.
I was gonna say that if you didn't mention it, I would have said that, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
100%.
Yeah, trust me. The last guest, Brady put that on his story. There was someone that lost their air tag, the equipment was air tagged. They hired it out to someone, and then someone just finessed them.
I've seen quite a few videos.
Got off with it. Yeah, but then they've tracked it down on the air tag.
Sometimes, obviously, it's good. It's good to do that, but like people ain't stupid. You know what I mean? People will just find an Apple AirTag and just throw it. You know?
Okay, you got to be clever with it.
You got to kind of hide them somewhere and hope that the people don't take the camera out the case. Do you know what I mean?
And what about this not losing the files? Then what's the best way to do that, bro?
Sure that you're backing them up.
Yeah.
If you're shooting onto like a camera that's got dual SD card slip, and you know that you've got the storage for it, then you can record so it backs up onto 2 SDs instead of 1.
Okay.
There's ways to go around it. But yeah, definitely like it's just a discipline, and that's something I lacked when I started. You know what I mean? I didn't have a proper discipline and about what I was doing. I was just doing things, so I made a lot of my mistakes early, thankfully. Do you know what I mean? But this, like, you still make little hiccups here and there, but thankfully now, like, I've done it so much that I know how to cover my own back a bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I can try and avoid it.
So shout out the emergency services and that.
That's it, man. We're here, we're in the city, man.
Saving lives and that. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, all right, so you done that job where it was like for free. That was a bit of a flop. You took the TV camera, you done the music video, you done the restaurant. What was the first job that you had where it was like, yeah, I'm onto something now, I'm getting paid what I deserve, or what I'm happy with this, or do you know what I'm saying? Like the first time where you was like, sick.
There's two sides to it. So there's the first job that I was like, yeah, I'm on something, and there's the first job where I was like, okay, I'm getting paid.
Okay, yeah.
So the first time I was like, okay, I'm onto something, was when I met Fadiz from Nottingham. This guy's passion, his drive, whatever, like his encouragement, like, helps me develop. Do you know what I mean? And like, he's my guy. Like, we're good friends now. Like, he's more than just somebody I've met through film, and he's my friend. Do you know what I mean? We've been on trips abroad and done stuff like that where we're working together, but like, it's just nice to share it with someone that has a similar kind of mindset and stuff. So when I met Fadiz, like, we just kind of clicked, and I felt like there was a change in the wind a little bit. Like, all right, like, might be onto something here, because it was working, but necessarily the pay still wasn't the greatest. I was still doing like kind of lower tier music videos and stuff. But
what was it about Fadiz? Yeah. And obviously, shout out to all the Nottingham artists, man. Shout out to Fadiz. What was it? His energy? Was it his work ethic? What was it that made you feel that?
He's got a mad work ethic.
He was onto something.
But yeah, his charisma, his energy, and his willingness to bring me around other people. Like, through Fadiz, I met so many other people. Yeah. From like, especially like the Nottingham scene. Like, man in Notts were putting me on before people in Leicester, 100%. And then people in Leicester started to see that. And then they started to maybe like be like, okay, maybe we should shout at Saunders. And it was just like the willingness to he saw something in me that I didn't even see in me. Do you know what I mean? He saw the potential in me that I necessarily wasn't aware of, do you know what I mean? Like, or whatever, like, but yeah, just encouraged, man, to keep going and develop, and it's had my back, do you know what I mean? So yeah, nothing but love there, man, do you know what I mean?
No, that's sick, man. So he helped you see the value in you, and he was supportive, and no, that's nice to know, bro. Thank you, brother. And then
you need people like that on your journey. Don't matter what you do, you need people that will believe in you and support you, bro. Like a lot of my own family, like, would tell me I'm fucking like making wrong decisions, and I'm fucking up, like looking at what I'm doing and the hours I'm putting into it, the stress I'm going through, like blood, sweat and tears, man. And they're like, is it worth it? You know, you're not earning like that much, you know what I mean? But I was always like, look, I'm building on something here, like I'm developing something that is going to be long term. Like I don't want to just work a 9 to 5 and come home and whatever. Like you can do that and build something. Yeah, don't get it twisted. But my God, like credit to the people that do, because it's draining, man. It's like it's a lot of energy. It's a lot of effort that goes into doing stuff. Like especially the way that I do things. Like I say, learning from your mistakes and stuff like that. Like I'm hands on, so I don't just like research stuff and then do it. Like I have to do it to know. You know what I mean?
What about the paid job? Was that first time when you thought, yeah, man, this is going to be
first time that I'd been doing paid jobs for a long time before this, but the first time I did a job and I was like, all right, like people must see something in me, is when I got given the responsibility to film the Too Funky Festival. And being given that job and to manage the media for a 4-day festival, and the first time I did it, I covered it by myself. Carnage. You know what I mean? There's like how many rooms is there? Too Funky. You've got the cafe, you've got the lobby, you've got the lounge, and you've got the garden. So there's 4 rooms, I'm sure, unless I've missed one. But I was running between these 4 rooms with simultaneous events going on, like covering them, and that was chaos. But to be given the responsibility to cover it, like, meant a lot to me. Do you know what I mean? Because I was going down to that venue from when I was young, like 16 years old, to watch rap clashes and stuff like that. Like that is the cultural hub for up and coming talent in Leicester. Has been for a long time now. So yeah, to be given that responsibility, that meant a lot to me, and to be getting paid for it as well. Like,
did they pay you up front?
Nicely, not up front. Like, got a system in place. Do you know what I mean? And it was like another time of recognizing someone sees something within me. You know what I mean? And it meant a lot to me, man. Do you know what I mean? So from there, like I say, I've done the festival now 3 years running, I think. So
sick.
And now I've gone on to do the Mela festivals, and like I work on like all sorts.
You're working with other videographers now, did you say? Because you said the first time you was doing it by yourself.
Yeah, I started to learn. I probably should draft in like subcontractors or videographers to make my life a bit easier. So kind of built like a little team that I was working with. The last one that we just did, we've got Project Live tomorrow with them, which is like another fund that they do through their kind of I don't know if they're considered a CIC, but it's a community thing that they're doing, and basically they're teaching up and coming artists the essential skills to perform with a live band instead of just making it on a computer and that.
Yeah.
And then they do a live performance and they create a CD at the end, and they do like this showcase and that. So we've got that happening tomorrow, so that should be good. I'm working with a guy from Nottingham that I actually started out doing music videos for, and he now does filming.
Oh,
so,
sick.
Yeah, well, he actually did filming before he did music, but now he's back on the filming. So it's good to reconnect with him, and
trust me, yeah,
it should be sick.
Working with other people to achieve that, like you say, you're getting into that, like the business side of things, or subcontracting, in it, like to achieve that aim. You can achieve more in it when you work with other people as well, right? Yeah,
definitely, man. Like you can't do everything yourself, and you got to understand as well. Like to me, I think one of the biggest problems I found was asking people for large amounts of money. What I felt were large amounts of money. Anyway, really, it's pittance, like in the grand scheme of things, but. Yeah, like I found it difficult to be saying, okay, like this is going to cost you, I don't know, 2-3 grand, like, because I don't know, just something like that. It just feels like a lot of money to me. But
So,
in reality, for the work you're producing, like, you also have to recognize you've got to know what is best. Like, the client might come to you and say, we've got like a £400 budget, but we want a whole festival covering. Like, it's not enough. You know what I mean? Like, it's not enough. Like, you're either going to sell yourself short, or you're going to end up getting to a point where no one's going to be happy, basically. Do you know what I mean? So you got to know, like, okay, this is a 3-person job, and their rate's this, their rate's that. I can't argue, because that's what they value themselves at. So I'm not one to try and knock person down. Do you know what I mean? If they say that's what they're worth, then I'll take your word for it. You just got to provide me that amount's worth. And if you don't, then probably won't get booked again, kind of thing. But I'm not going to be mad. It's just I learned a lesson. I know. I've lost track on where we were going with that.
No, but just like in terms of getting paid and achieving more with a team, and like you're saying, being able to have that knowledge, not even confidence, the knowledge to know that you have to ask for the what we think is big bucks, because you're coming from that background, but it's not big bucks to the person that's wants that outcome. Do you know what I'm saying? So no, it makes a lot of sense, bro. Like, it makes a lot of sense. So so if someone was starting out, right, like you were in college/uni, and thinking, look, content game is crazy right now, I want to do things maybe a bit more professional. What advice would you give them? Or maybe it will help to think about, like, what would you tell your previous self as well? Because it's not like...
I won't change a thing. No matter through all the ups and downs, I won't change a thing, because it's got me to where I am. And it's helped me grow as a person. Like, I had a lot of growth to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I think if I was to give advice to somebody going through that sort of situation, is get out there, experiment, see what you want to do. You might find that you start filming and then you find that you enjoy editing more. You might find that you end up becoming a producer or whatever, because within this sector, like, there's so many different job roles you can find yourself falling into. It's not just like you have to be a videographer and you have to do music. That's just a path that worked for me or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people feel like they've got to go down that route, but just get creating stuff, man. It don't matter if you're doing Twitch streams or anything like that. Like, just get creating stuff. Get the skills. Look at the Sidemen. They started off doing all of that, bro, and then they've got a Netflix show on them, and they're doing massive things, like. And it's all about self-growth. Just start somewhere and build from that. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me, I'm only starting, bro. Like, this is the start of where I want to go. Like, this isn't even near the finished product. I hope not. Anyway, do you know? Like, I know I'm gonna take myself to places that I never thought I could have gone, and you just gotta keep that self-belief, man, and just and go with it. Like,
start somewhere.
Like, I'm not even knocking myself down when I say this, but I know that my skill set starting out weren't the best. But my work ethic and my drive was, like, from my opinion, it's from what I've seen, it's got me to where I am. Do you know what I mean? Like I've seen people come and go, man, and you've got to have that work ethic and drive, man.
Is that one of the main things?
Yeah, like, and that's why it's nice to fall into something you're passionate about. Because if I was doing filming and I did go into TV or something, I stepped away from that after uni because I didn't enjoy it, bro. Didn't enjoy the people. I was too much nitpicking, and too many people that thought they were better than other people. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think that passion, because it's hard to find your passion, do you think that stemmed from, like, what you were saying to your family, like, I don't want to do this 9-to-5 thing, like?
I think,
you know what I'm saying?
It stemmed, like, for me getting into doing this freelance, I think it actually stemmed from a lot of different things. Like, it was passion, definitely one of them. It was also, like, a reaction to my mental health. Like I say, that was a massive part of my teenage years. Like, I struggled, like, finding myself, finding who I am, do you know what I mean, growing up. And I think I struggled with anxiety most, do you know what I mean? And to sell myself, like, and trying to get jobs and this, that, and the other, it really like triggers me and triggered me. I'm getting better. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, back in the day, like just the thought of being in a work environment, I had maybe a couple bad experiences. I let it hold me back. Do you know what I mean? But you just got to move on, and now I'm at a point where I know my self-worth in it, so I'm happy to say that I feel like a lot of it is behind me. I still have anxieties, but different anxieties now. Like, it's more like, gotta get this done, gotta get that done, gotta stay on top of it, gotta make money. Do you know what I mean? Like, them kind of anxieties is everyone goes through.
Do you ever think you'll go back to the 9 to 5 life?
Sometimes, yeah. Like, don't get it twisted, bro. Like, I'm at a point in my life where I'm having to make decisions. When you're asking what's the hardest point earlier, hardest point in my career is now, because it feels make or break. Do you know what I mean? Every day feels like you've got to be better than you were yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's constantly like, it's constant pressure, like, but a lot of it you have to recognize the pressure put on by yourself. Sometimes you got to take a step back and maybe just realize, like, I don't know, like when I love the fact that a lot of my mates don't do like the creative stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because when I go link up with my mates and whatever, not in a bad way, like they take an interest in what I do. Like, do you know what I mean? They ask how things are going and they support me. Do you know what I mean? But if I go link up with my mates, I can leave work behind me. Do you know what I mean? And I can separate things, like, and I think it's a big help because, like, yeah, it helps me have sanity. It helps me kind of separate the two.
I hear that, bro. Well, listen, that might be bad news, innit? Because I'm your mate now.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I've got plenty of friends within the creative sectors. You know what I mean?
Trust me, no. Due to this podcasting thing, I feel like, you know, when you have like you say, we're kind of networking still now.
Yeah.
Talked about some serious shit, and then moving forward, like, I'm defo supportive, and I want to see everybody succeed, but I want to see it happen, fam. Yeah, and I know that's genuine from you, bro. So I appreciate you jumping on. Like, I don't know, like, it's probably bare shit that we can touch on and everything like that, but like socials, quick thing, what is that important for you, like socials and shit like that? Or
social media, yeah, definitely, it's important. It's important for everyone nowadays, like, especially how you portray yourself.
Yeah.
One of the most important things that I did for myself was I made like a vow to myself to not put anything negative up online.
I swear.
It's difficult sometimes, especially with what's going on in the world.
Oh, like sharing shit,
Yeah, like sharing stuff, even just like venting and stuff like that.
I do it, bro. Sometimes it gets a reaction.
Sometimes like I find it does help to make yourself like vulnerable, do that, but I don't know, like for me, I just found that's what worked. Like, it helped me put myself on a more positive mindset. If I found that someone tweeted something I didn't like, I would always want to reply, have my say, but get drawn into online battles and this, that, and the other. And I think one of the biggest things for me is like, I just feel like that's a waste of energy, bro. Like, get out there, meet people, talk to people
on social,
have real conversations.
Yeah.
Real world. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like this, meeting up, like,
true.
We could have had a phone conversation a long time ago. Do you know what I mean? And just spoke about things, but to sit down and go through it in this kind of like manner where you're face to face and you're talking about stuff, like, it's how you get to know people properly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then we'll chop it up, we'll slap it on the socials as well, bro. And then it might even. It is therefore going to have more of an impact. We're leveraging it as well. So, shout out your pages and stuff like that. And
Saunders MultiMeda on Instagram, Smartway Media Solutions on Instagram, and that's my main platform. Alexander Saunders on LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook. I think it's Saunders Media or Saunders Multimedia. Check out my show reels on YouTube, Saunders Multimedia. Everything's pretty much the same.
You're active, bro. I
try to be, but I'm not putting up as much as I'd like to be. But that's the self-criticizing part of me. Do you know what I mean?
I hear that, bro. Like you say, it's 24 hours in a day, man. Can't do it all.
Soon to be 25, apparently.
Swear.
Yeah, apparently the moon's drifting away.
They're always fucking with that shit, man.
I'm for it, man. I'm for it.
Yo,
I need
25
another
hours.
hour in the day. More sleep.
More sleep.
Yeah, it's more sleep, man.
Lies,
Yeah.
you could be grafting, fam.
That's the one thing that I don't get enough of.
Yeah, no, I hear that, bro. Sleep when you're dead, bro. Not really. Listen, fam, yo, big respect for coming on. I appreciate it, bro.
100%, Thanks.
Shatters, no, thank you. I appreciate you, man. Shatters, I look forward to catching up again.
Yeah, man.
I mean, look forward to the future, G.
That's it.
Respect.
My guy.